world is nighttime, looking for human flesh. Cast the disbelief as the amazing warrior Beowulf saves Danish King Hunger party house from these savage beasts. Ladies, gentlemen, and small people, take your seats for the fabulous Fairfield folk tellers.
Hrothgar, king of the Danes, built a fabulous hall. It was a symbol of wealth and power, and the king intended to fill it with laughter, music, and merrymaking.
I intended to be built by all of laughter, music, and merriment.
Huge banquets were held, with tables groaning under the piles of food. The mead ran freely as musicians played and storytellers told their tales. For a time, all went well, but as the music filtered out into the night and across the great marshes, it fell on ears that did not appreciate it. The marsh was home to a troll called Grendel. He hated the hall and that the humans dared to invade his swampy homeland.
I hate the hall. I can't believe that loads of humans dare to invade my swampy homeland.
He went white at the sound of music, but drooled at the thought of man-flesh. Heaving himself up from the bowl, he lumbered into the night, following his twitchy nostrils. Grendel slipped through the swamp like an icy shadow until he reached Hrothgar's hall. By now, the partygoers had fallen asleep, and the troll heard them snoring.
The marshmallows are falling asleep. I can hear them snoring.
Lifting his massive fist, he shut the hall's doors and bounded through. He was a fearful sight. Even crouched over, he was over 8 feet tall. He looked somewhere between an ape and a man, covered with shaggy hair, damp with the stinking black water of the swamp.
That was just huge. Really hairy was that stinky black stuff.
The troll snatched the nearest man before he could react and bit off his head. In a mad panic, he had killed 2 more Danish warriors before they could arm themselves. No spear point, or sword, or axe blade could get through his shaggy hide.
My spear went cut. These are my swords. My axe won't either.
He swung left and right with his sharp claws and baboon-like fangs. Grendel's skin was protected by a magic charm that made it as hard as stone.
Must be protected by magic.
The dying fire lit up a scary scene. Soon the floors of the hall ran red with blood. Having filled himself, Grendel turned and trudged back into the night, his gut filled with human meat. The next night, Hrothgar and the surviving warriors did not sleep, but lay in wait to trap Grendel.
Tonight we will not sleep up until we wait to trap the monster.
Once again, there was a massacre.
Once again, we didn't get to aid him this time.
The troll crushed his opponents as if they were dolls and scoffed himself on the remains. Hrothgar abandoned his great hall.
Okay, well, that's it. I give up. Well, no more parties.
News of the troll and his evil doings spread far and wide. The awful story attracted the attention of a mighty warrior king called Beowulf.
Hrothgar, evil troll, many dead.
Beowulf was the king of a tribe of Vikings called the Geats who lived in Sweden. He had wild eyes and unlike most Vikings, he wore no beard. Beowulf has an uncanny strength unmatched by any man. He resolved to help the Danish king and took 14 of his greatest warriors to help him.
I will go and help Hogar. I need 14 warriors. Only 14? Here then, so be it.
They crossed the sea in a longship and were met by a grateful Hrothgar. Even so, the king of the Danes doubted Beowulf and his men could defeat the nighttime prowler.
I am ever so pleased. You came to help us, but you only brought 14 warriors. Do you really think that's enough?
The warriors were shown to the abandoned hall, where they immediately began to prepare for a feast.
Here's my fabulous sword.
The men made merry well into the night before settling down to sleep. In the swamp, Grendel was enraged to hear music on the night air once more.
OMG, they're playing that awful music again. Did they not know from the first 2 times?
He came stalking out of the marshes, his eyes burning like 2 green lamps in the moonless night. Tearing down the door again, he snatched up the nearest man and wrung his neck like a chicken till his head was torn off. As he reached down to grasp the next victim, he was surprised when a man span round and grabbed his wrist. The man was no other than Beowulf.
Ah, I have caught you.
Beowulf had never had a grip of iron. He wrapped his arms around Grendel's limb like twin pythons. The troll had never felt such a grip.
Ow, that hurts. Let go of me.
He heaved Beowulf off the floor and smashed him against the wall, but he still hung on. Grendel slammed him down on the table and smashing it, but the warrior king hung on.
Really? Have you not let go already?
Beowulf's men scrambled to help.
Me,
They threw spears and attacked with swords, but they could not pierce the troll's hide.
it's not working. Doesn't look like it can help you. Sorry.
Having no success at shaking his enemy loose, Grendel decided to rip him to shreds.
Why am I trying to shake you off? I have claws to rip you to shreds.
He raised his free claw to slash down at Beowulf, but at that moment he slipped on the blood of his first victim and went crashing down.
What? Of all these times to slip over? This can't be good for me.
Seizing his chance, Beowulf twisted the troll's arm up behind him so that he could not claw or bite him.
Ha ha! I now have you in an arm lock.
Confused, Grendel decided to retreat, but as he pulled away, Beowulf heaved in the opposite direction. There was a revolting tearing sound, and Grendel's arm was torn clean from its socket.
Ew! That's gross.
Screaming loudly and dripping vile black blood, the monster rushed out of the door and off into the night.
I don't think I like this story anymore.
In the morning, Beowulf brought Grendel's severed arm to Hrothgar and the Danes as proof of victory. Beowulf was hailed as a hero and handsomely rewarded with gold, jewels, weapons and furs, but the celebrations were too soon. That very night, whilst Beowulf and his friends partied at Hrothgar's castle, an even larger troll was seen prowling the swamplands.
Ah! Troll! Enormous! Even bigger than the last one.
It was Grendel's mother. Grendel had only been a child. His mother was a full-grown troll, over 12 feet tall. She returned to the hall and killed all the people she found there.
Ah! Enormous troll! Even bigger than the last one. At the hall, everyone dead.
Realising his job was only half done, Beowulf agreed to destroy the adult troll as well.
I suppose I should agree to kill this troll as well. No rest for the wicked.
He followed her huge tracks down from the hall into the swamp and finally came across an oily green pool surrounded by dead trees. The troll's tracks entered the water.
The tracks stop at the edge. The troll must have gone into the water.
Diving in fearlessly, Beowulf swam down and down until he came to a cave.
Really? But the water is oily green and stinky. Oh, all right then.
He swam in and found that the waters gave way to an underground cave. The cave was filled with human bones and piles of skulls, all victims of the trolls.
Oh look, lots of friends and skulls, very homely.
On a stack of bones lay a huge ancient sword.
Oh look, a huge ancient sword.
In another corner of the cave lay the dead body of Grendel.
Oh look, the dead body of the smaller troll. That's really quite gross.
Suddenly out of the shadows came Grendel's mother, her mad eyes burning with rage and revenge.
I am very angry. I want revenge for the death of my son.
She was twice as tall as Beowulf and had savage tusks jutting up from her jaw like some oversized ball. In her right claw she held a sword that she swung like a dagger. Beowulf's armour stopped the troll's blade and he swung his own sword, crushing the weapon from her claw.
Yes, I have you now.
But the monster punched Beowulf's sword from his hands. Beowulf tried to fight with her as he had done Grendel, but Grendel had been a child. The strength of an adult troll was too much, even for Beowulf.
I'm way too strong, even for you.
The monster's huge hands crushed him and forced him to the ground.
Ow! You are crushing me!
Looking around him, desperately, he saw a great sword he noticed earlier. He madly reached for the blade, hoping to grab it before he was crushed. Grabbing the handle, he swung up blindly, and the long blade cut deep into the troll's fat belly. Unprotected by magic, as Grendel had been, she released Beowulf while screaming in agony.
Ow, that hurts. That was really mean.
He swung the blade again, and once more it buried itself deep into the flesh of the monster.
What, again? Oh no, now there's loads of blood.
Fatally wounded, the troll staggered off into the cave tunnels.
Fatally? That means I die, right? This story is stupid.
Beowulf noticed that her blood was beginning to destroy the metal blade.
Oh dear, this lovely sword is disappearing.
Realising that he would need proof of his victory, he walked over to Grendel's body and chopped off his head.
Hey, don't chop off my head! I was dead anyway and he needed it as proof of my victory. This is a rubber story.
Beowulf swam up to the surface world again, bringing the troll's head with him. Once more there were celebrations and feasts.
This is celebrations, we beat it.
plays was sung by many a storyteller, and he was thought of as the greatest of heroes. Beowulf was awesome. Beowulf was a hero. Beowulf was very brave. Beowulf saved everyone. Beowulf was like Superman.
Oh, give it a rest.
Never again did the trolls bother Hrothgar or his great hall.
Do you blame us? They polluted our